The animals that walk beside you are not mere companions. They are living mirrors of your soul. Your dog, your cat, even the silent gaze of a bird carry subtle impressions that reveal hidden karmas, past life memories, and secrets that your conscious mind could never decipher. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that the connection between human and animal goes beyond affection. It is a vibrational bridge, an invisible contract signed before birth itself. What few perceive is that every gesture, every glance from your animal may be the key to understanding ancient wounds and liberating yourself from chains you never knew you carried. But what if your animal's strange behavior were actually the reflection of a lesson your soul refuses to learn? What if their unwavering fidelity, silent love, or even the pain they manifest were trying to show you what you insist on ignoring? Today, you will discover why spiritual masters saw in animals not merely companions, but guardians of destiny, karmic messengers carrying within themselves the most intimate truth of your spiritual journey. Prepare yourself, because understanding this will forever change how you see the being who shares your home. The first revelation that must transform your perception forever is this: the love you feel for your animal is not common sentiment, but direct reflection of the love your soul seeks incessantly in God, that pure, unconditional love, devoid of judgments, expectations, or bargaining that characterizes supreme devotion. When you look at them and feel that tenderness requiring no words, that peace depending on no achievements, you are experiencing a glimpse of what saints call divine love, the same quality of affection that moves the stars, feeds the galaxies. Animals carry in their essence the primordial innocence that we humans lost in the complexity of mind and the traps of ego. They are living guardians of sacred simplicity, preserving in their daily gestures the spontaneity of the inner child that still dwells within us, waiting to be reawakened. Like pure crystals that reflect light without distortion, they show us through their silent presence what it would be like to live without the masks we create, without the fears we accumulate, without the wounds we carry as heavy burdens through the earthly journey. A disciple of Yogananda recounted how his master observed for hours a cat sleeping in the ashram garden. "See," said how he carries neither tomorrow's weight nor yesterday's sorrow. Each breath is offering to the eternal present. Each movement is silent prayer. If you could live with such simplicity, you would know God instantly. The animal became teacher without knowing, master without teaching, simply by being what it is. Living bridge between matter's density and spirit's lightness. Begin today to observe your animal not as dependent creature, but as silent master teacher. Through example, the sacred art of being fully present. When he approaches seeking affection, see not merely need for attention, but lesson about how love manifests without pride, how vulnerability is strength when born from genuine trust. Each gesture is invitation for you to rediscover this same simplicity in your own heart. The second revelation that will revolutionize your spiritual understanding is recognition that karmic bonds are not limited to the human species. The same laws that attract you to certain parents, children, partners, and friends also weave the invisible threads connecting you to the animals appearing in your life. It is not cosmic coincidence that exactly that dog, that cat, that bird crossed your path. It is spiritual magnetism, attraction between souls who already walked together through previous existences, returning now in different forms to continue the journey of mutual evolution. Imagine for an instant that your cat, with that silent wisdom seeming to know universe secrets, may have been in past lives a Tibetan monk who taught you meditation's first steps, returning now in animal form to continue offering peace through serene presence. Or that your dog, with that unshakable fidelity and unconditional love, is an ancient companion of spiritual journeys who chose this incarnation to teach you virtues you still need to develop: loyalty, transcending circumstances, instant forgiveness, the capacity to love without conditions. Esoteric masters always knew that certain animals voluntarily assume karmic burdens of their human guardians, offering themselves as channels to transform dense energies into light through silent sacrifice of their own experiences. When an animal becomes inexplicably ill, when it demonstrates behaviors exactly mirroring the house's emotional tensions, when it seems to absorb environmental sadness, transforming it into serenity, it is acting as involuntary alchemist, transmuting through unconditional love what would be too heavy for the human heart to bear alone. The practice is simple but profound. Begin seeing every animal crossing your life, even those appearing briefly, as cosmic messenger bringing exactly the lesson or energy you need in that moment. Observe the qualities it manifests and ask yourself, what is this soul trying to teach me? What aspects of myself do I need to develop to honor the wisdom it carries? The third revelation penetrates even deeper into the mystery of interspecies connection. Your animal's behavior is direct reflection of the energetic vibration you emanate, transforming it into an emotional thermometer, measuring with absolute precision your consciousness and the quality of thoughts you cultivate in your mind. They are living mirrors that do not lie, do not pretend, do not disguise. They simply reflect with crystalline honesty the vibrational frequency you radiate through your emotions, fears, joys, and most intimate intentions. When you are anxious, observe how it becomes restless. When you cultivate inner peace, see how it naturally approaches seeking to share that serenity. When there is tension in the house, notice how it withdraws or shows stress signs, involuntarily absorbing the dense energies floating in the environment and trying to process them through its more sensitive nervous system. They are like spiritual antennas tuned to your heart's frequency, capturing not only what you express verbally, but mainly what your soul whispers in silence. An elderly lady sought Yogananda in distress because her bird had stopped singing after her husband's death. Master, the Guru said gently, your bird has not lost its voice. It is carrying your pain. When you find music again in your own heart, it will return to singing. 3 months later, during a deep meditation session where she finally managed to feel gratitude for the life shared with her spouse, the bird burst into melodious song that filled the house with renewed joy. Transform daily care of your animal into sacred ritual of self-knowledge. Before feeding it, first feed your own inner peace. Before caressing it, first caress thoughts with compassion. Before speaking to it, first speak to your own soul in love's language. Each interaction then becomes opportunity for mutual growth, where you learn to consciously radiate the qualities you wish to see reflected in the world. The fourth revelation illuminates how all great spiritual traditions of humanity recognize, under different languages, the same fundamental truth about animal life sanctity and its intimate connection with human consciousness evolution. In Buddhism, the concept of Buddha nature extends to all sentient beings, recognizing that the divine spark seeking to awaken in us also pulses in each animal's heart, each treading its own unique path toward illumination through experiences destined by planetary evolution's collective karma. Hinduism goes even further by recognizing that animals are jivas, individual souls on pilgrimage through different life forms, accumulating experiences and purifying karmic impressions until reaching the spiritual maturity necessary to incarnate in human form and eventually transcend completely the cycle of births and deaths. Each animal is therefore a future saint in potential, a Buddha in formation process, deserving the same respect and reverence we offer great spiritual masters. Saint Francis of Assisi elevated this understanding to mystical heights by addressing animals as lesser brothers, recognizing not hierarchy of superiority, but cosmic fraternity, where each species contributes its unique qualities to creation's universal symphony. When he preached to birds or conversed with wolves, he was not being eccentric. He was demonstrating the natural communication emerging when human ego dissolves enough to allow love's universal language to flow unobstructed between life's different men. The unifying practice is profound. Begin seeing your animal as representative of a specific spiritual tradition you need to integrate. If it manifests serenity, study Buddhism. If it demonstrates unconditional devotion, deepen yourself in Bhakti Yoga. If it inspires Franciscan simplicity, explore Christian mysticism. Allow it to be your guide to the tradition most resonating with your soul at this journey moment. Now comes the moment to reveal the sacred practice uniting consciousnesses across species barriers, a meditation Yogananda secretly taught only to disciples who had demonstrated profound love for animals, technique capable of establishing direct telepathic communication with your companion, accessing shared past life memories, and receiving spiritual guidance through the instinctive wisdom they preserve in pure state. This is not fantasy or mental projection, but direct experience of the fundamental unity underlying all apparently separate forms of creation. Sit comfortably beside your animal, preferably when it is calm and receptive, perhaps after a meal, or during those drowsy moments when its consciousness becomes more subtle and permeable to higher frequencies. Close your eyes gently and begin breathing deeply, gradually synchronizing your breath with theirs, until you both are pulsing in the same cosmic rhythm, like two waves of the same infinite ocean finding natural harmony. Place one hand over your own heart, and with very gentle movements to avoid startling it, position the other hand over its heart, thus creating an energetic circuit where both cardiovascular systems begin resonating in unified frequency. Mentally, with inner voice filled with reverence and gratitude, repeat the sacred mantra, "We are one in God's light. I recognize the divine soul. I thank you for walking with me on this evolution journey." Remain in this silent communion for at least 10 minutes, simply feeling the shared breathing. During this practice, many experience spontaneous visions of past lives together, insights about lessons they are learning mutually, or simply a deep peace confirming the reality of spiritual connection transcending physical limitations. Do not force extraordinary experiences. Simply allow love to flow naturally between you, trusting that this silent communion is weaving even deeper bonds that will benefit you in all dimensions of existence. The sixth revelation penetrates the most sacred and mysterious territory of human-animal relationship, discovering that many function as invisible spiritual guardians, voluntarily assuming karmic burdens originally destined for their human guardians, offering themselves as living sacrifice to accelerate the spiritual evolution of those they love. This is truth so profound it is rarely shared publicly, as it requires spiritual maturity to be understood without generating unnecessary guilt or excessive sentimentalism that distorts sacrifice's beauty. When your animal becomes ill without apparent cause, especially during moments when you are undergoing great interior transformations or facing intense spiritual challenges, there exists the sacred possibility that it is absorbing and transmuting through its own energetic system dense karmic impressions that would be excessively heavy for you to process directly. They do this not from obligation, but from love, the same love that moves great saints to assume humanity's suffering. They silently assume aspects of your purification process. Tibetan masters tell the story of a lama whose cat developed exactly the same symptoms of a serious disease doctors had diagnosed in him. While he dedicated himself intensely to spiritual healing practices, offering prayers not only for himself but for all beings, the cat began visibly wasting away. On the night medical exams confirmed his complete and inexplicable cure, the cat departed peacefully during sleep as if its mission had been fulfilled. "She taught me," said the Lama, "that true love knows no species limits." But here is the point almost no one dares consider. When they physically depart this world, their spiritual journey does not end, it expands. Liberated from dense body limitations, they continue acting as spiritual guardians on subtle planes, energetically protecting those they loved on earth, guiding them through dreams and intuitions, interceding with celestial hierarchies so they receive necessary blessings to complete their evolution. The love you shared becomes eternal bridge between dimensions, The seventh revelation radically transforms how you live each beside your animal, elevating the simplest activities, feeding, hygiene, play, rest moments, to sacred ritual status, nourishing not only their physical body, but also the eternal soul inhabiting that temporary body. Each gesture of care becomes conscious, offering to the divine manifesting through animal form. Each act of affection transforms into silent prayer of gratitude for the opportunity to serve a different expression of the same universal consciousness animating all things. When you offer food to your animal, see not merely biological necessity being satisfied, but recognize you are participating in communion's sacred mystery, the same principle transforming Christian Eucharist into sacrament, elevating Hindu prasadam to divine food, making Japanese tea ceremony of transcendence. Mentally bless the food before offering it. Recognize the chain of beings who cooperated to bring it there. Give thanks for the opportunity to nourish a companion soul on evolution's journey. The lessons your animal offers daily are practical spiritual curriculum. No esoteric school could provide with such authenticity. Fidelity, not depending on reciprocation, instant forgiveness, holding no grudges, full presence, not lost in futuristic worries or paralyzing nostalgia, spontaneous joy, celebrating existence's smallest pleasures. Observe how it surrenders completely to each experience, whether sleeping, playing, eating, or simply existing. This is Living Masterclass on how to inhabit the present moment with total acceptance. The transformative practice is simple. Before any interaction with your animal, pause for a few seconds and internally recognize the sacredness of the moment about to happen. Whether brushing its fur, cleaning its bed, playing with it, or simply caressing it in silence, remember you are touching a physical manifestation of the same infinite spirit dwelling in you. This perception shift transforms care into worship, responsibility into privilege, routine into ritual. The eighth revelation elevates your understanding to cosmic dimensions by recognizing that love developed in intimate relationship with your animal becomes entry portal to universal compassion, embracing all life forms on the planet and beyond. You discover that the heart capable of truly loving a being of different species has developed the fundamental capacity necessary to love all creation, transcending all barriers the separative mind created between I and other, between human and non-human, between important and irrelevant. When you genuinely recognize the divine soul pulsing through your cat's eyes, you automatically awaken to the same divine soul animating the garden bird, the tree offering shade, the ocean sustaining all life, the stars silently navigating through cosmic vastness. Particular love transforms into universal love, not losing its intimacy and tenderness, but expanding to embrace unimaginable dimensions of conscious compassion, characterizing great saints and avatars. This expansion is not conceptual or intellectual. It is experiential and transformative. You begin perceiving that each gesture of affection offered to your animal reverberates through the entire planetary life network, contributing to all species' vibrational elevation, actively participating in terrestrial consciousness, collective evolution. Each moment of patience you develop with it strengthens your capacity for patience with all beings. Each instant of forgiveness you practice for its mischief increases your ability to forgive human imperfections. Mystics of all traditions discovered that love for animals is natural preparation for love of God, not because animals are intermediaries or substitutes for the divine, but because they preserve certain divine nature qualities in purer state than we do, offering us crystalline mirrors where we can contemplate aspects of spiritual perfection we still need to develop. Each prayer directed to your animal's well-being simultaneously becomes prayer for all sentient life's elevation. The ninth and final revelation illuminates the most sublime truth about the sacred relationship between you and your animal. The love you share is not temporary episode destined to end with physical death, but eternal bond woven in the soul's very substance that will persist through all future incarnations, all planes of existence, all transformations awaiting you in the infinite journey of spiritual evolution. When you truly love an animal, you create an indestructible bond transcending time, space, and physical forms' apparent limitations. What began as simple domestic companionship reveals itself as cosmic relationship of sacred proportions. You're not merely temporary guardian of an animal, but conscious participant in a soul communion that chose to walk together through multiple existences, each offering the other exactly the experiences necessary to accelerate the spiritual awakening process. Each shared life deepens intimacy. Each temporary separation intensifies reunion joy. Each mutually learned lesson strengthens the capacity to love in increasingly pure and selfless ways. Yogananda used to tell his closest disciples, when you really love a being, human or animal, you love them forever. True love is creative force that cannot be destroyed by any circumstance. It only changes form, but eternally preserves its essence. This is the cosmic promise your heart already knows intuitively. The animal you love sincerely will remain connected to your soul through all transformations, all journeys, all worlds you will explore together in existence's infinite vastness. The most precious legacy you can leave for your future incarnations together is the pure love you developed in each moment of genuine tenderness, each gesture of selfless care, each instant of silent communion becomes spiritual treasure, enriching all your future lives, ensuring you will recognize each other instantly when you meet again, perhaps in different forms, but with the same familiar soul pulsing through new bodies, destined to continue the journey of love and mutual evolution. As this understanding journey reaches its end, know that something fundamental has transformed in how you will forever perceive your animal's gaze. You will no longer see merely physical eyes observing you with simple affection, but translucent windows through which God Himself contemplates His creation with infinite tenderness, using animal form as sacred veil to pour direct blessings upon your life without human ego interfering with resistances or complicated mental interpretations. Each time your gazes meet, mystical encounter of cosmic proportions will be happening, the individual soul recognizing itself in the universal soul, manifesting through all apparently separate forms. From this awakening moment, each interaction with your animal will become living sacrament, where you consciously practice the supreme art of loving without possessiveness, caring without domination, serving without expectation of return, qualities defining God's very nature, and which, when developed through relationship with animals, prepare your heart for the highest stages of spiritual realization. May this knowledge transform each shared moment into opportunity for mutual growth, each gesture of affection into offering to the divine, each day lived together into precious page in the sacred book of conscious evolution you are writing in loving collaboration through the centuries. If these revelations have touched your soul's deepest chords, if you recognized in the shared words truths your heart was already whispering in silence during intimate contemplation moments beside your animal companion, then the time has come to amplify this light through simple gestures, connecting you to a worldwide family of souls who discovered the same hidden sanctity in interspecies relationship. Leave your like on this video as conscious declaration that you honor the divinity pulsing through all life form, and subscribe to this channel to continue receiving teachings revealing the hidden spirituality in earthly existence's simplest and most daily aspect. Share this sacred knowledge with those people you perceive ready for this expanded understanding. Perhaps someone who deeply loves their animals, but has not yet discovered this connection's spiritual dimension. Perhaps a friend going through difficult times who find comfort in the wisdom their animal companions silently offer. Perhaps someone the universe will place in your path through divine synchronicities, mysterious algorithm. And leave in the comments your perceptions, your communion experiences with your animals, your discoveries about the lessons they have offered. For when we share these sacred journeys, we create collective energetic field facilitating spiritual awakening for all sentient beings. May the infinite spirit residing in you as you manifest through every gesture of love offered to your animal companions, may each exchanged glance be mutual recognition of the divinity inhabiting all forms. And may you walk together through eternity as conscious pilgrims on the endless journey toward complete union with the love that moves the sun and stars.